Babe, I'm not so sure about matching gowns for M10S now. Gods. Look like Aquaman if he was a gay genie.
You look fine, hun. I, however, feel a bit underdressed.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. Just let me see already.
All right, but just nothing weird at this time.
Babe, you can trust me.
See, I feel like it looks alright, but it just needs something more, I guess? Myth?
Holy, just step on me already. Crush my head like a walnut. Stick your entire foot in my mouth. I did it again, didn't I?
Yeah. But it was cute.
Great success.
How's it going, Warriors of Light? I'm Myth, the little fellow who happens to be your new sleep paralysis demon. If I fit, I sit. So you want to clear the latest Savage tier, but don't have friends static. That means Party Finder. I know, you've heard the horror stories. You've lived the horror stories. You might even be one of the horror stories. But here's the uncomfortable truth people don't like admitting. Party Finder's reputation is mostly confirmation bias. Nobody logs onto Reddit to say, hey guys, during the PF, everyone knew the strat. We cleared in 20 minutes and then we all said GG, took off our shirts and kissed. What does get posted is absolute disaster, and because of that, PF gets treated like a lawless wasteland where mechanics are optional and communication is a suggestion. The reality is, if you know how to play it, PF can actually work in your favour, sometimes better than a static. Statics give you consistency, which is great, unless the consistent thing is the one guy dying to the same mechanic for 6 weeks, and as much as we want to, it's never okay to stick a pillow over his face till he stops breathing. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. Party Finder, on the other hand, is basically Russian roulette with a random number of rounds every time you pull the trigger. So this video is here to tilt the odds in your favour. Whether you're joining PFs or hosting them, I'm going to give practical advice, set expectations, and help you make decisions that give you the best possible chance of walking away with a clear, instead of a migraine. Now, I respect you enough not to waste your time going over the basics. Food, pots, prep, making sure everyone understands the strat, and pre-jack to your stroller rule number 30. Wait, shit, this is the wrong list.
Wow! Okay!
I'm going to assume you already know all that, so we can skip straight to the real info that actually makes the difference in a PF clear. For starters, your prog point is not the furthest you've ever been in a fight. No one cares if your tank's hitting Vuln and suddenly you're 2 or 3 mechanics deeper than you should be. Your personal prog point is the furthest you can get consistently and mistake-free. You're not progging Watery Grave in M10S if you only have a 1 in 3 chance of surviving snaking, you enthusiastic bean. Prog lying is probably the #1 reason PF groups fall apart. So be honest with yourself and with your group about what you can actually handle. Don't advertise your group beyond this point, and please stop joining groups past your prog point hoping for a carry. Most Savage fights nowadays have body check mechanics that can snowball a party from one person's misadventure. That shit just isn't gonna happen anymore, Jerry.
Stop it. Get some help.
This next point is aimed mainly at group leaders, but honestly, even your average PF player could benefit from this. I can already see the Bard and Dancer mins in my comment section now, praising the gods that someone finally said it again. Take a look at these 2 photos. I'm giving you 10 seconds to tell me the difference in the comments. If you guessed right, congratulations. As a Bard and PF this tier, I literally love you. Seriously, hit me up. If not, well, back to the drawing board. These 2 images are from the same fight. One is ADPS, the other is RDPS. Why does it matter? That's a good question, Jerry. Thank God you've never led a PF before. ADPS is your actual damage throughout the fight. RDPS is an adjusted version of your damage, where all the damage wealth you give to others in your buff windows is redistributed and eventually finds its way back to you. This mostly applies to support DPS like bards and dancers, who naturally do less personal damage because most of their value comes from what they give to the party. RDPS is basically a cooperative redistribution system. All the damage your buffs helped others do comes back to you. Call it socialism if you want. I call it raid math. Why does this matter? Well, it actually does, okay? Serious enough that I'm willing to drop my F allowance on it. Stand by. I think this problem exists because Final Fantasy XIV is basically full of WoW refugees, and the 3-letter add-on that turns everyone's comments into a number, typically, doesn't show RDPS. So if you're a bog-stained fucking pipsqueak... Sorry, I should be nice. If you're a well-informed PF host using that add-on and you're looking for someone to blame, you think I'm the problem. The weak link. The spare noodle at the orgy. Ta-da! You're wrong, and you just kicked a serial contributor to your party's sustained damage. So remember, children, that add-on does not give you the full picture. Investigate a little before hitting kick. Sorry. I have trauma. And that brings me nicely to my next point. It's perfectly okay to remove a problem from Party Finder. Hell, it's even okay to ask. If your inner voices are thrilled at the idea of strapping that one person in your Party Finder to a rocket and sending them into a mountainside, there's a good chance someone else's are too. People in Party Finder are way more tuned in than you think. Most of them are banging their desk just as hard as you are. Trust me, seriously. When did the Cuddle Buddies convince us this was a bad thing? I swear it's because they're not members of my channel for the low price of a single $1, preventing me from having to sell foot pics to get by. Plug, shut up. Now obviously, you shouldn't straight up be Hitler about it. And obviously, a window for teaching and retraining is preferable first. But it's tragic to see near solid Party Finder groups disband instead of kicking the one individual causing the majority of the problems. You chose to PF over joining a static to avoid this type of dead weight, sucking up your bandwidth. I'm pro-casual. You know this. I've been making out with you guys off screen for years now. But there comes a point where, if you won't take accountability for yourself, someone has to. And honestly, if you're constantly holding the group back, well, it probably means you're not ready to prog to where the rest of the party is right now. Remember what we said earlier about your personal prog point? This is exactly that in action. Everyone else can do the mechanics consistently, and you can't. No matter how hard you try. That's not shame. That's reality. I'm sorry if you want to hate fuck me for saying this, but the 7 other random people in a Party Finder group are not required to deal with your repeated bullshit. Nor are you entitled to force them to if you're not quite where they are. Just kick them. It's not personal, and if you take it personally, well, maybe you need to go outside, touch a little grass, slap a camel. I don't know what you people do with your lives and jobs, but don't just sit there molding and call people toxic for kicking problem players. Now, I'm not saying every Party Finder kick is justified. I've been on the receiving end of one recently, as I mentioned earlier. If you are kicked, take a breath and self-reflect before blowing your lid. There's still a good chance there's a reason and you're just too hate-fueled to see it right now. And speaking of not forcing others to carry your repeated bullshit, let's talk about patience, expectations, and the reality of Party Finder prog. If your PF attitude is basically join first, wipe, then storm out like
wankers, fucking embarrassing, waste of our time, fucking waste of our time.
Congratulations. You're the reason PF has such a reputation. Spoiler, nobody clears Savage on their first pull in prog. Even if your group is solid, wipes happen, mechanics get missed, people panic, it's chaotic. That's PF. So adjust your mindset. Your first run is not about a clear. It's about gauging where your group sits, learning who's consistent, and figuring out your personal prog point as a unit. PF is a marathon, not a sprint. And if you treat it like a sprint, well, you're probably going to end up face down in a puddle of your neighbour's piss. Wait, maybe that's just me.
Nice.
Moving on, feedback, mother clucker. Do you give it? Giving constructive criticism in PF is an art. Keep it calm, keep it measured, keep it away from being personal, and make sure it actually helps your group or the player improve. And be willing to listen to it in return. Don't just vent your rage into party chat like it's your next Twitter expose on why ladybugs are racist. Because if you go at it too aggressively, be prepared for your Party Finder to simply